September.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hi guys, my name is ShabowBlazerXIII here with Hardmancanada and Lecorbak. We are doing a podcast today on the Sony PlayStation, their success and failures of 2024. I have a short presentation covered, and I believe Hardmancanada is covering something as well, or some sort of content. I think so, right?
Yes
Have
and
you got
no.
something planned? Okay.
I don't have a long presentation. I just go to say I have 4 main subjects: 1 PS5-pro, 2 Concord, 4 Astrobot, and 4 PS5-pro.
Some of the slide that I'll be doing for today actually covers some of that content, so I've only kind of give cliff notes, so maybe after I've done the slide, you can maybe give kind of your perspective and maybe kind of expand on those points. I haven't covered the portal though, so that'll be kind of interesting. So just to bring this back around, we haven't done a podcast in a while, and we were kind of struggling, I suppose, with an idea of what we wanted to talk about. I think what's really interesting about this kind of group we have is we have myself and Hardman, who are PlayStation 5 and PlayStation gamers. We've owned all the consoles, we play regularly. And then we've got someone in Lecorbak who is PC primarily. So it'd be interesting to get his perspective on a lot of this content and kind of what I show here.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about. A lot of good and a lot of bad. So I'm going to open up with my presentation that I've made, and if you've any problems understanding what I'm saying, or if you've any problems understanding the content, please just ask me to clarify or expand. So with that, I need to send a request to turn on the share screen.
Yeah, I just...
Cool. Right, so 1 second now, share. Sec. Here we go, and then I'm going to start from the beginning. So we're going to look at the success and failures. Can you guys see that clearly?
Yes, yes, we can see it.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
There might be a little bit of lag maybe, so forgive me. So we're going to talk about the success and failures of PlayStation, really, of Sony. So first we're going to look at, what made Sony successful this year. So general ideas that I had was the updates, assistant software to the PlayStation 5, a lot of, their updating is pretty regular. They're very on top of that in terms of, Astrobot. Their exclusive games like Astrobot being very successful. Astrobot being, this kind of new Sony mascot, so to speak. PlayStation Studio developers, with developers such as Firewalk Studios, although we will get into them. Developers such as Guerrilla Games, who make, Horizon series. Insomniac, who did Spider-Man as well, and timed exclusives like Final Fantasy 16. A key word there being timed exclusive, by the way, so just keep that in mind as we kind of go along. And good monthly games, generally speaking, it's not for everyone.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure. If you want to say something, by the way, like...
Yeah, it's something very small. For me, time exclusive, for me, it's worthless because it's not a real exclusive. For me, a real exclusive is a real long-term exclusive. So for long-term, that's more worth it. Time exclusive for me, that's worth nothing. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Now you can continue.
So sorry, let me go back. So the next one is a video. It's about 9 minutes. Canada, you'd probably know about this already. Corback, I've brought this in for someone who isn't familiar with the Pro and what exactly it is. So this is 9 minutes. So feel free to ask me to stop at any point.
9 minutes.
I wanted to.
It's quite long. Okay.
Yeah, as I said, because I thought I could explain it, but I figured hearing it from the man himself will kind of give more of an I can will I double speed it then? Will I put it on double speed, or will I leave it
double speed? I guess, yeah. So let's try double speed.
Am I allowed to do double speed here?
Playback speed.
I think it's because I've integrated it into the.
Can you increase the volume?
Do I need to turn it down or turn it up?
You turn it up, but I feel like you can't.
I don't think I... Wait.
Yes, over here. You go there, watch on YouTube. You go to the parameter, and then this speed back.
Can you see this?
Yes, we can see this.
Try up playback volume there.
Yes, over there.
I can't see the video right now.
It's probably because one sec. I probably need to stop my share and reshare again. So one sec. I'm not sure about the audio. I'll try to see if I can figure that out. But
I was able to hear it.
Okay, so
you're not able to change the playback speed?
no, I don't think I can. Oh, here we go.
Over there.
I'll go 175. Wait, that's too fast.
1.5. I
Is
cannot.
that okay?
Yeah.
I cannot hear the video. You know, in a share screen option, you have the option to include share screen audio.
Oh yeah, you have to include the audio, don't you?
Yeah, in share, and there's a section of like including the computer audio. That way, we can hear the thing that you're sharing.
Select a microphone. Let me stop share again.
Yes. When you share, there's an option of sharing the audio.
Oh, right. Share sound. Right.
Yeah, share sound. Yeah.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Right.
Oh, and then to make sure there's no lag, don't put the video in HD. Maybe
440, 480.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
That way there will be less lag.
So I put it 1.5.
Hi, I'm Mark Cerny. I'm excited to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console lineup, PlayStation 5 Pro, and how it advances gaming technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers an exceptional gaming experience. When PS5 debuted in 2020, it brought a lot to the table. 8 Zen 2 CPU cores form the brains of PlayStation 5 and enable high-speed complex gameplay, with character counts reaching into the hundreds and frame rates that can be as high as 120 frames a second. PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2 GPU, which can render anything from intricate details to fantastic worlds with vast panoramas to explore. Ray tracing allows for dramatic visual improvements, including reflections off of water or glass, and the realism that comes from real-time global illumination. A custom SSD can load data at breathtaking speed, resulting in ultra-fast transitions between game worlds, and data streaming rates so high that traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
Okay, I'm working on it!
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled sense of immersion to the sound of the games. With audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where they are. Finally, the DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is experiencing inside of the game. It's wonderful to see such variety and richness of game experiences. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance. The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players. Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering. These modes might also have enhanced detail or use more ray tracing. But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier and the controls less responsive. Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run at 60 frames per second, mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved. When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically prefer. To do that, PS5 Pro substantially improves over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big 3. First, we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses. The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster. Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing, taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5. And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR for short. PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary amount of detail, which boosts the effective resolution of the game.
I don't understand their logic.
They were calling PSSR pisser, by the way. That was the joke going around at the time.
The pisser.
Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles, and with the Big 3 involved, the results can be pretty amazing, with graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate.
Oh yeah, true.
Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro.
PlayStation
It has
4
huge
game,
amounts
by
of
the way.
detail and targets a super smooth 60 frames per second.
No, PS3 game.
Let's compare this to the fidelity mode on PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier.
I don't see any differences.
Me either.
This goal of delivering almost fidelity-like graphics
That's
performance
the
frame
problem.
rates has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2
Can you pause the
and
video?
Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We can see that PS5
Can you
Pro
pause the video?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Again, just by looking like that,
One sec.
just by looking like that.
If I up the quality of the video, maybe 1 sec.
Yes.
I need to move our window. If I do it here, if I do it at like 4K, I don't know if my I can. Okay, there you go.
I can see. Me just by looking like that, I don't see any difference. Is the same thing. Maybe
Small things like the plants, like the way the detail on the plants are, but it's very
The plants
minimal.
are
Like,
less. How do we say flu in English?
vibrant,
blurry,
vibrant,
but
Blurry.
more-
Yeah, blurry.
blurry. Yeah, blurry. They're less blurry, basically. Yeah.
those
Here,
are
let me
just
put
those are just
so
minimum difference.
close to doubling the power of PlayStation 5. Another way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5-pro versus performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per
You
second.
see, it's a target.
What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5-pro is much sharper and crisper.
right, I'll pause this. Right, so this is a big one, right? So this section here,
Okay,
this was a
okay.
big one. Okay.
Okay,
So here-
try to go in 4K.
Right, I'm in 4K. Okay.
Okay.
I'm in 4K 60.
Okay.
So the main detail here, okay, is the sign. Okay, if you look at the PlayStation 5 and then you look at the PlayStation 5 Pro, you'll notice that like the grass is more detailed. The sign, as you were saying earlier, callback, is less blurry on the PlayStation 5 Pro version. But that's all it is. It's literally just the
You can
windows
see the
here as
windows.
well. The windows here, the trees, for example, have a bit
Honestly,
more
it is
detail.
not a very, very huge difference. It's just small negligible difference that no one will notice during gameplay.
Like, you're not going to pay attention when you got bad guys shooting at you. You're not
Yeah.
going to be paying attention to like a sign.
Than
You know?
PS5. For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet & Clank.
1 sec. I'll pause
Distant
those out.
details are much
So I'm going to try to play this in the 4K. It might be a bit laggy, but I'll try it. I got a new laptop, so hopefully this should be able to handle it.
And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene,
I
including the
honestly
trees
don't
and
see any
procedural.
difference, to be honest.
Yeah.
There is no difference. There's the trees. Wow. Like, it's literally just the trees and like the small detail.
I think they just changed the vegetation system in the PlayStation to make
Cars.
them more beautiful.
So overall, some
Yeah,
remarkable
that's it.
improvements.
But that's all it is. Like, on your PC and on Canada's PC, I guarantee you guys could get the same level of quality, if not
Yeah.
even more.
Games.
You look at
on PS5
mods-
Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive
4K.
gameplay. This is the
Yeah,
big
4K.
three showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail
Yeah,
and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is
They
being
call
especially
this
effective for
machine
Horizon
learning,
Forbidden
but
West.
I'm not sure
Apart from the
it's-
detail
it's
boost, that extra
actually
graphics
machine
power is
learning.
allowing for improvements to lighting
Yeah.
and visual effects,
It's all fancy words, I think, really.
Yeah,
as well as to the hair
to
and
try
the
to
skin in
impress
cinematics.
people.
Open up, guys. Door's orders.
Good enough for me.
Oh, by the way,
Ray tracing is finding broad usage as well,
The Last of Us
particularly when the
that they
games are
show,
focused on higher
can
frame
you pause
rates.
the video?
The faster hardware in PS5 Pro
The Last
can
of
make a
Us-
real difference.
The Last of Us that they showed is technically a PS3 game. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then there's something very important I want to say. Just give me 1 minute. I'm going to show you to you. 1 minute. I'll be back.
Yeah, no better. But yeah, that's kind of the whole crux of I'll go into it in the next slide with the failures, but like, do you see what I mean now? Like, that's what it basically is the problem. And I'll show you like the pricing and stuff that they're charging as well. It's pretty bad. Like, it's, oh my God.
And considering that you pay a big price for this, and you have you
Yes.
have material that can break pretty easily, like for example, my PS4 controller just broke yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, PS4 is very cheap. It's very fragile. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. You know, this is the
Okay, yeah.
Sega Dreamcast. This is the PS5. In this presentation, they only showed old PS5 game or old PS3 game that most people already beat the game. And then the
Because
issue
they already
is,
played.
this is the one issue. The PS5, in its 4th year, there is about 18 exclusive games. The Sega
Yeah.
Dreamcast in the 2nd year have over 300 exclusive games at a time. I said, So the Sega Dreamcast in its second year had over 300 true exclusive games, but the PlayStation 5 in its fourth year have 18 true exclusive games. So that's why they only show the old game. It's like
yeah, it's because there's no exclusives. You'll see, I've put that in the next slide, but there's no exclusives. There's literally nothing, and there's a point as well that they're gonna mention. Well, actually, it wasn't mentioned in this, but it was mentioned in the an article, I think. But I'll follow up in a second with it.
Okay.
Allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray traced reflections between the cars and gameplay.
The only company that does exclusive game right now,
Nintendo.
It's Nintendo with their console, because they never release their game outside of their consoles, and they release a shit ton of games, so
yeah,
it helps a lot.
Yeah,
that's
continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per second. That boost in ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy, allowing not only for better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces, but also for further realism in the casting of shadows. I hope you've enjoyed this run-through of the technology behind PlayStation 5-pro. Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've ever built, and a worthy addition to the PS5 family. Let me wrap this up by giving you a quick look at a number of games running on the new console.
Now I'm gonna skip to the end, okay? Pay very close attention. Here.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to talk about this. So can I do my comment? Yeah, I have a lot of things to say.
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, in Canadian dollars, is in 999. So let's say it's 1,000 Canadian dollars. And then I remember in the 90s, there was a very expensive console called the Neo Geo. And then I asked my father, Daddy, okay, can you buy me the Neo Geo? My father asked me, how much is this? Is 1,500 Canadian dollars. I said, what? You're crazy? And then I said, can you buy me the Sega Genesis? How much is this? It's only 150 Canadian dollars. Okay, I'm going to buy that one.
Yes.
Did you see?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
This is something like that I remember in the 90s. Yeah. So the Neo Geo was over $1,000, but it was a separate market. It was the Neo Geo, the Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx, and the Super Nintendo, and the Neo Geo. But the Neo Geo was a separate market. It was a console for rich people. It was separate market, so we were directly competing. But the PS5 is like directly competing, and it's I mean the PS5-pro is like really competing with the other one, but it's more expensive. So, and there's no exclusive game. So I don't know what they're thinking. Oh, and then the other thing before I let you guys speak is that the PS5. I forgot what I was going to say.
You want a second? Do you want Corbach? Do you want to go ahead and if you think of it, you can just kind of.
I just say that for the people who don't know about euros, 800 euros is like nearly $1,000.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So
of money.
yeah, it's they actually sell this for a really higher price in Europe. So I think we have even less options on the PS5-pro. I think there's something that is missing for us. I don't remember what, but yeah, it's like crazy.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add to your point there. Yeah, like 800 euros is a lot. And I was going to say, you could build a basic PC with that. You know, you could build a starter PC with that money, you know, and that's kind of the point. And as you said, like 800 euros is a lot. You're in France and I'm in Ireland, so we deal with that as a currency, you know. But as a PC gamer, kind of your perspective on PC gaming, like how would you view this? As someone who
you scared me.
Sorry. Actually, I'm gonna go back to my screen. So, as someone who's a PC gamer primarily and who has invested in that, from your perspective, how would you kind of like see that basically?
I think it's way too overpriced because if that was an actual PC, it would be good. But the thing is that this is just a console that you can just play video games with it. You maybe have some apps, but it's limited, and you have to pay for every single game, and they are really expensive too. So if you add this to that, also you have to pay for your to play online. So everything accumulated makes me not want to play on PlayStation 5 because I can do better on computer and games are cheaper.
Steam, GOG, Epic Games, yeah. Did you remember what you wanted to say?
Yes, just all to say. You see this? This is the Sega. The PS5-pro is a mid-generation upgrade. This is the Sega 32X. It was a mid-generation upgrade for the Sega Genesis. It's a bit blurry, so I don't know if we can see it.
No, I can see it.
The Sega 32X. And then if we play a regular Genesis game, like Sonic 2, and then a regular 32X game, like Necro Chaotix, it's blurry. Hello, camera.
Try showing your face there. There you go.
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
If we play a game like Necro Chaotix and Sonic 2, we see a huge difference. It's like we don't need to see from Microsoft to see the difference. We just clearly see a different graphic because this is as Necro 32X, the graphic style is as good as a PlayStation 1 graphic style, and this is it's a last generation. We can see a mid-generation upgrade. We can see a huge difference. But when we compare a game of PS5 and PS4 Pro, it's not apparent. We have to see a Microsoft to see, the background is more blurry. Because I know we talk about this in one of our older podcasts about the generation leap. Is because
we did
each new console generation is a diminishing return. Because we are reaching a plateau. We're reaching a plateau about how good 3D graphics are. So a generation a generation upgrade is less and less impressive. The way
I'll just say something really important is that nowadays the players do not care about graphics.
That's true.
Because the players do what are playing what games the players are playing today. It's Fortnite, Minecraft, and Roblox.
That's true.
Warzone too. Warzone as well. Call of Duty Warzone, which isn't really graphically heavy. We've also seen a resurgence of old fighting games. You know, the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. A lot of players, a lot of gamers are going back to older games as well. And I think modern gaming, and I'm going to touch on this in the slides in a moment, but I think a lot of modern games now, they just focus so much on the graphical aspects. I think that's Sony's biggest problem, is they're so focused on the presentation of video games and they're not really focused on the actual gameplay element of it, you know? Just my thoughts on it personally.
Yes, I perfectly agree with you on that.
So I'm gonna push
Nintendo tries to make consoles at a low price so that every families can buy them for their kids. And I think it's a better strategy overall.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Nintendo kind of have the right idea. You know, I think his name is Reggie. He was the original Nintendo president in like 2010, and he said that we make games for fun. We're all about the content, and that was his exact wording, was we're all about the content. And you can see that with their releases of, say, Splatoon. You can see that with the releases of the new Zelda game. You know, even though people argue about Nintendo, and I'm not defending Nintendo's practices by any means, you know, they have their own thing. We could probably cover that in a separate podcast.
Yeah, they have their own issue. But in terms of exclusive in gaming, Nintendo is currently doing better than Sony and Microsoft.
Cheaper online, better variety of games, as Corbach was saying, a portable hybrid system that is both a handheld and a home system, I think. So I'm going to push to these last points, and then this is pretty much the end of my presentation, and we can just kind of take it from there. So I want to look at the failures. Pretty much, you know, what are the failures? The lack of exclusive games, the implementation of DEI. You guys are familiar with that?
I can't watch the screen. Give me a second. Okay, that's good.
Okay. So, do you guys know what I mean by DEI?
No.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Oh,
So I'm
okay,
gonna
yes.
You do? Okay. Right.
Oh, but before on this before you talk about it, I just want to say two more things.
Oh, interrupt me, yeah. Interrupt away, by the way.
Okay,
If you, at any point, stop me. Just interrupt me. Just go for it.
For more, it's about the price of the PS5-pro. Is that for me, if a console is over 700 Canadian dollar, for me, it's better to buy a PC because historically consoles were always more affordable than PC. And then in a console, you just buy a box, you put a game cartridge or a game CD. You don't need to update driver or anything complicated, and then you can play. Console used to be more accessible, but now console is becoming more like PC. And then something I tell myself, if the Nintendo Switch 2 or the next Xbox or the PS6 is digital only, I will go fully PC. Oh, and speaking about that.
Oh yeah, I've said the same. 100%. I mean, it's in the first point. Where's the lack of the games? Where's the games?
Yeah.
Where's the games? Like, there's no point. You could literally go on Steam right now and you can get majority of the games. You can get Horizon. You can get Final Fantasy 16. You can get other exclusives, I'm sure, that I'm not remembering, right? As you said. So, yeah.
And you have plenty of emulators too.
Yeah. PCX2, the one I was mentioning to you, Patrick, PPS, PP.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
you can,
that.
You can argue, you know.
Yeah, and the other thing is, the way they did that price, they make no sense, because I remember there's a PS5, the PS4, and the PS4 Pro. When the PS4 Pro launched, no one complained about the price, because the PS4 was $400, and then once the PS4 came out, the PS4 Pro was $400, and the regular PS4 had a price drop to $300. So at the time, no one complained about the price, because they had a price drop for the regular PS5, regular PS4, and the PS4 Pro came in at that price. But over here, in Canadian dollar, they're asking me for a $400 upgrade, which just to see a background that's not blurry, and then a beautiful tree. Ooh, $400 for that? No, and then it comes with no CD, no disc trays, and no stand.
The vertical stand, yeah. Pretty much you've hit all the points there. I just want to expand on the DEI very quickly. The diversity, equity, inclusion is killing their creativity. If you don't know, there's a company called Sweet Baby Inc., as they're called, and what they do is they're a team that come in and they check games, and they want to make sure that, you know, you have a disabled person in there, or you have these like specific types of, which I'm not against, you know, having like people of disability or even color in video games. I think it's great and it's cool, but it should be authentic. It should be authentic, right? It should be something that you want in your story because you want it there. You just don't want it because it's there. And I think that's kind of like...
Yeah, it has to be important for the story instead of just being there to add the inclusion.
Yeah, no, basically, like, it should be for the inclusion of the story. One example I can give you is Final Fantasy 13, where you had 3 characters. You had 3 women, 3 men. One of them is a black character, and I've said this for years. He's one of the best characters alongside everyone else because he adds so much dynamic to the group. He fits within the story. He fits as a really good character. The next point, obviously, being Concord's failure at launch. The wannabe Overwatch shooter, which, if you don't know Coreback, it was a first-person shooter that was mimicking Overwatch and completely failed at launch, costing Sony Interactive Entertainment $400 million. As we touched on already, the PlayStation 5 Pro costing, you know, the prices listed there, you know, $700, £700, 800 euros, and 120,000 Japanese, and probably 900 Canadian, you know, near to $1,000 in Canadian. As Canada mentioned, the lack of a disk drive,
Yeah.
the lack of a vertical stand. So really, Canada, it's not $950. It's probably 1,020.
Yeah. To be more
Or
honest,
more.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, no stand. I got a free stand with my original PS5, and I got a disc drive.
Yeah. Me too. With my own PS5.
Yeah, it was reported recently that some games would still run on 30 frames per second, even though, you know, Mark Cerny in the video we just watched claimed that, you know, it's going to include both fidelity mode and performance mode, but, you know. And the last point, which wasn't mentioned in the video, is called PS4 boosting. Which PS4 boosting is where, you know, when you're playing like a PS4 game
On
and
PS5.
you're still getting like on PS5 and you're still getting like the 30 FPS lock frame rate.
Yeah.
PS4 boosting is a feature on the PlayStation 5 Pro that is actually going to upscale and enhance your games. Now, my question is, why isn't that a base feature on the base console?
Yeah. Why?
Exactly.
They're just greedy.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
PS
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
The PS5 is more than capable enough to do something like that. The regular PS5.
Of course it is. But then again, on PC, you can just do that anyway.
Yeah.
You can target 60. You could target with a proper monitor. You can target 120.
Yeah. With PC,
So-
you could customize
can,
the setting.
Yeah, you can easily mod. I know that, for example, some PS3 games. I know I'm not talking about PS4, but it works also for PS4. You can emulate PS3 games that were originally coded as 30 FPS or maybe 20 FPS games. And on PC you can emulate them at 60 FPS or even 120 FPS without any problems. So
Yeah. So your PCS, I believe you're referencing PCX3, right? The PS3 emulator.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. When we used that for Aqua, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that's it.
there's also Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
Everyone is waiting Bloodborne for PC, but because it doesn't come on PC, there's actually a group of developers that are developing an emulator. I don't remember the name of the emulator, but it's an emulator that makes Bloodborne working on PC and at 60 FPS. It's not perfect right now. There are still bugs and everything, but they are working on it, and it's nice to see that gamers care about games that are not on PC and really want them to be on PC, thanks to emulators.
Yeah.
Especially a game like Bloodborne that I know that a lot of people want to play Bloodborne but do not have a PS4, and it's not for the people who have a PS4. Bloodborne is really cheap. Like you can have it at $15 or $20, like really cheap. But if you don't have a PS4, you cannot play this game. And I think it's cool to see people wanting to put this kind of games on PC and being able to play it at like 60 FPS or something like that. It's same for like the new Pokemon, Scarlet and Violet. You can play those games on PC at 60 FPS when it's not at 60 on.
Speaking of Pokemon Scarlet Violet, Nintendo just created another emulator a few days ago.
I know.
Rejinx or something, or
Ryujinx. Yeah, that's the one I actually used.
Oh damn! Have you still access to that actually, or has that been?
Unfortunately, as I changed my computer, I did not have the time to have a proper functioning Ryujinx simulator. But I have a friend that still have it, and so I will probably ask him to send me his version.
The files, yeah.
But,
I'm sure you could. I'm sure you can find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my little presentation. So from there, I mean, we already kind of were talking about it anyway. But yeah, so from there we can just go from there. Yeah. So.
Okay. Can anyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then I say that in the past, the Atari ET for the Atari was the biggest commercial failure in terms of video game in history. They buried a bunch of ET game somewhere in the desert because of millions of unsold copies. But in modern time, I just can't believe it. But Concord, in terms of financial failure, is a bigger failure than ET, the legendary worst video game of all time. Concord, they did something. They failed so bad that ET is a success compared to Concord.
When ET is more popular, yeah.
Imagine that the game is at $1 after just a week after its release. It's not like ET that actually had some kind of success, not as much.
Yeah.
But it was actually sold and worked a little.
I'm
not
just
like
curious here.
I mean, I look at this, I'm just baffled. I mean, this is the biggest failure. No, this is the biggest. This is one of the biggest failure in gaming. Concord. They did something impossible. A commercial failure worse than ET. 4 years apart.
And they worked. They worked for 8 years on this game.
ET for what? 6 weeks? I don't remember the exact.
Yeah, it was really short. Like maybe 2 months.
Yeah, but this is baffling.
And Concord is a Sony owned studio, so Sony own Firewalk Studios. So
and then just like what you were saying, Shadow, because they did not focus on the gameplay, they focus on the political messaging, character deserve diversity just for diversity, and they didn't focus on the gameplay, and then many people saw that, and then wow.
Yeah, the people who played the game could tell that the gameplay of Concord is just meh. It's like it's not bad, but it's not good either. It's like just mid.
It's just mid,
It's like a Overwatch, but a worse Overwatch with less option. That's why I see it.
And compared to Overwatch, Overwatch is free, while Concord you have to pay full price.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Overwatch has had an artistical direction that is actually good compared to Concord characters that are, I think, you know the movie with the raccoon one, the heroes.
Talking about Guardians
of the Galaxy?
Yeah. Basically, Concord, in terms of art, it looks like Guardian of the Galaxy, but actually a cheap version of this. And in all honesty, I think that Guardian of the Galaxy is not really good to begin with. I mean, in terms of especially the human ones.
I
like the raccoon one, but
Star-Lord, I think his name.
Yeah, Star-Lord.
I think overall the character design of the characters is really, really bad.
Yeah,
and it doesn't help. You do not want to play those characters. Compared to Overwatch, you want to play Mercy, you want to play Diva, you want to play Junkrat, you want to Raw Dog, even like a fat character like Raw Dog, you want to play him because he has a personality. Junkrat is a crazy man, but you want to play him because he has personality. But the Concord characters do not have personality. You cannot by seeing them know who they are. You can't. But you watch the Overwatch characters, you know, you can see their personality even before playing them, before listening to them, just by their look. It's like Zangief on your t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can see his personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to hug people. Yeah. we can feel what kind of person he is, and then the one I like to play as Zangief. That's so fun.
It's like Sonic, it's like Mario, it's like Hatsune Miku, it's like Pac-Man. You can recognize these characters because the character design lets you know what they are. And I don't see that with Concord.
No.
Yeah.
Concord was a rip-off Guardian of the Galaxy and a rip-off of Overwatch. There was no originality with it. There was none.
And I think Coco character design, they seem bland and boring.
Yeah, they're very generic.
Yeah.
A lot of the designs just didn't make sense. A lot of them just looked bad. Like, why? Like, as someone who plays video games, like, you want to immerse yourself in that world. You want to project yourself into those characters that you really love, right?
Yeah.
But with characters like Concord, you don't really want to do that. Like, why would you want to, invest in these characters? And also, there was plans of them doing, like, this series and everything. That's still going ahead, so... Sony just, I think with people were saying that, they're out of touch. You know what this reminds me of? And you'll know this, Canada. It's the PS3 days all over again.
Oh yeah, but but at least the PS3 had a disc drive and free online.
Yeah,
at
true.
least.
Actually, yeah.
And it was
€70.
It was backward compatible with PS1, PS2, and PS3. Yeah, backward compatible with PS1 and PS2 CD at a time, at least.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say something about Concord.
Yeah.
But some people made fun comparisons on Twitch on the view count because there was some games that are like really shit on the Nintendo 64, like obscure shitty game that actually made more viewers than Concord when the game got released.
Wow.
Yeah. It's, I don't know, people were saying that the reason the Pro is so expensive is because Sony were trying to make back that money.
Concord money.
About Concord?
Yeah, they were.
I don't think so, because that's the kind of things that is prepared a month in advance. But it's a funny thing that it happened at the same time as the Concord failure.
Yeah. So, really, the question is, where do Sony go from here, and what do we as customers and gamers, I suppose, of Sony, and me and you specifically, like, what do we do? Do we revolt against this Pro? Do we not purchase it? Do we tell others not to purchase it? Do we purchase it? And, are we wanting to invest in a system like this? Realistically, it comes down to, has the PlayStation 5 really been worth it? Has it really been that next generational system that we were initially sold on? I believe so in some cases, but there's debate.
Okay. I'll just say, do we need it? That's the real question. Do we need the PS5-pro?
No.
Not really.
So PS5-pro, no.
No.
What's the point?
Yeah, I can still make a case for the regular PS5, but not the PS5-pro. The PS5-pro is not really worth it. Oh, and one thing, I'm sure that this game, one of the worst Atari game ever, is better than Concord.
Oh, I know that game. I watched a video on that game before, yeah. Anything is better than Concord, man.
It probably does more viewers on Twitch right now than Concord.
Yeah. The game Star Fox, so with a name like that, people will be interested.
Yeah. So it's a rough situation, I think, in terms of Because like you're saying there about the PlayStation 5, the original PlayStation 5 from back in the day, and I agree with you. There's a lot about the system I love. I love the controller. I love the console itself. I love the SSD compatibilities, the features we have, and the games that have come out are great. And being able to play games at a 60 FPS with a 1080p resolution or higher, I think is really nice. For me, it seems to be like that Sony and Microsoft even are going around this thing where they're promoting this console as the next big thing, right? And they're saying to you,
with no games.
But there's no games. And then you're telling us like 4 years later that, hey, the system we promised you was this 4K. No, this 8K machine.
I remember.
Is on the box. It's on the box. You can't even hit 4K. Now, so you're saying we can't hit 4 or 8K. Now you're telling us we can't hit 60 FPS. My question would be, why bother with fidelity mode? Why give gamers that choice? Why not just put everything into performance mode, realistically?
It's just more important. Because the mere 99% of the time, I put game, even on my PC, I put game on performance mode. It's just more important than just fidelity mode.
Yeah,
I'm so Sonic agrees with me.
Oh yeah, nice. Thanks, Sonic.
Yeah.
But on PC, again, this argument comes back to PC gaming. You can do that. You can get the 60 with the fidelity mode or 120 with fidelity. As long
as your PC is strong enough to do it.
Yeah, but like. Where's our value? I paid as an example, I paid €70 European to play online this year. That's another €70.
Yeah.
On Steam, on Epic Games, you don't have to pay anything. I can go on Steam right now and it's free.
Yeah.
It's completely free.
I say, why would I play? Why would I pay for a PlayStation 5 Pro when I can just buy hundreds of chili hot dogs?
Yeah.
That's true.
And why would you buy a PlayStation 5 when, as Canada mentioned earlier, the exclusives are all going to PC anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is very sad because the PlayStation 5 have 18 exclusive as currently. True exclusive that's a PS5 only.
Yeah, the problem is that they do not do the games themselves, not like Nintendo. They are just making consoles, not making games. That's the problem, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, for sure. And it's, it's hard. It's kind of. It's frustrating, I think, because, I said this to a friend recently. We had this discussion. Every game I've played this year, every game has had one commonality, right? Has one thing in common. Can you guess as to what that thing in common is?
Oh, I think it's they have a PS4 version or Xbox version or PC version. They're all multi-platform.
Exactly. Every game I've played this year has had a PlayStation 4 version with it. Now, the argument has also been made that Sony don't want to pull away from the PlayStation 4. And people have argued, well, the reason PlayStation 5... That is something I just remembered too.
Me too.
Is that they don't want to pull away from it because there are so many people on the PlayStation 4 now still. There's still a market for it. So, is it a case of that Sony are trying, like, realistically, should they just pull the rug out from the PlayStation 4 and say, that's it, we're done, we're finished?
Yeah, that make you think of that stuff. It makes no sense because if they want to still support the PlayStation 4, which is now 10 years old, it is quite the hardware is quite old now, and then why they're making a PS5 Pro is like they're shooting themselves in the foot. Boom! Ouch! My foot! It's like they're contradicting. They want to push for PS5 Pro, but there's no true exclusive. There's only 18 true exclusive PS5 game, and this is one of them. This is a true exclusive PS5 game, and this game is great. And then each time I play this game, I said the graphic is incredible. It fully utilizes the the specific control of the PlayStation, the haptic feedback, the vibration, the touchpad, everything, the gyroscope.
Yeah.
It used every single thing of the PlayStation 5 controller perfectly. When I played this, I said, this should have been launch game for the PS5. But it is technically there was Astrobot, the demo version for PS5, and now this is
the playroom,
and then this is the full game. I said, PS5, they should make more exclusive game like this. And then another thing, this is a low budget game that had a huge success. Maybe not.
Yeah.
It's not like a game like Concord or Spider-Man or Last of Us or Horizon, like a game with beautiful graphic that cost like $300 million to make. This is maybe something like $10 million to make this game because it's a low budget, and then Sony should make a lot of smaller, low budget games like they did in the past, like Gravity Rush, Ape Escape, Resistance may not be low budget. Okay, let's say Resistance or Killzone, Parapad Rapper, Sly Cooper. They should make a lot of medium to low budget game that sells millions of copies, and then they will keep PlayStation afloat along the run, because what PlayStation is doing, like Concord, they put a high budget game, they put everything in one basket. When it fails hugely.
Yeah, we forgot to say one thing, is that after Concord's failure, they did a post on Twitter saying that they were lacking of IPs. Sony said that, and then someone posted a long list of like 15 franchise that didn't got a game for like 10 years, 10 years or more. Like Ape Escape, Clonoa, Gravity Rush.
There's so many games.
Plenty of games.
Yeah.
Spyro, I don't know. I think Spyro is now owned by Microsoft, but there's also Spyro the Dragon. Yeah, there's a lot of game, PlayStation IP game.
Yeah, the list is really long, they were like, "No, we don't have new IP. We don't have IPs." Instead of releasing new games for their good IPs, they prefer trying to make new IPs that do not work. And something strange is that they release a new Astrobot game and it actually works. So
and it's very good too, and it actually succeeded very well. So
because Astrobot, they put focus on gameplay and not political messaging.
Yeah,
that's why
just a really fun and easy game.
It's gameplay, and then over here there's over 300 PlayStation guest characters from PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 5. There's characters from Uncharted, from Gravity Rush, from Persona, from Yakuza. There's characters from a lot of PlayStation, both first-party and third-party PlayStation IPs.
Yeah.
There's like 300 characters, and they said they like RP. Astrobot is a celebration of the PlayStation. That should have been a launch title.
Imagine a single-player game beating like all the multiplayer games on the market.
That.
Imagine that, yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, the market was leaking. That's why.
Yeah, but so that's the thing. They can make games. They can do it. They've done it with Astrobot. They could. They can make the games, but they don't want to. As you've said, they want to keep with the DEI, and I don't know. I think Sony are in for a lot of losses, and I think a lot of people next generation are gonna have to think long and hard about what they want to do.
Yeah, I think Sony's new president, he's just out of touch with gaming. And then something I wanted to say is that all those gaming journalists, they say that Concord is going to be best game because all the gaming journalists they send their political messages and say they love Concord of the political messages. And then when Concord failed, I said, where were they?
Oh yeah, yeah. Where were they? Where were you guys?
Where were you guys? Why did you guys support the game if it's so good?
You guys said it was going to succeed. No, you guys said it was going to succeed. You guys said it was going to be a game changer.
All the game journalists, everyone who said this is going to be the best game ever. Where were they?
Hiding.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're hiding.
By the way, the funny thing is that the actual players of Concord were mostly streamers and and video makers.
Okay.
Yeah.
To make
not actual players.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That makes.
So, yeah, they weren't. Yeah, like I said, it was all BS. Honestly, the whole thing was BS from the start. And this goes to show that DEI isn't as successful as they thought. Like I said, I agree with, being able to be diverse and being able to include certain things. If it's natural, I agree with that 100%. What I don't
as long as it's natural and not forced.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As long as it's legitimate, as long as there's good intentions.
Yeah. Just like in the Guilty Gear franchise, what I like about the Guilty Gear franchise, there's trans characters, and then there's also black characters, and then it is not forced. It is part of the stories.
There's also a handicapped character.
Yes, for example, Batman, or
Batman.
Bacon.
Yeah, and it is natural. It is not forced. You will never see a trailer of Guilty Gear something like, oh, let's see. In this game, there's Bacon, an handicapped character. Oh, over here there's Ramnatan, a black character. Oh, over here there's a Biscuit, a trans character. They will never say a marketing about look our diversity. They focus on gameplay, and then if they happen to be diverse, that's good.
It's not like, for example, a bad example of this is Overwatch. Even if Overwatch is actually a success, the game was like, oh, now Soldier is now gay because why not?
Yeah.
And then later, this character is now gay, and now this character is now gay. Just
for no
reason, like just to please some people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They need to say why.
Why?
If there's diversity, they need to be story sense, not just.
For example, Tracer, she was marked as lesbian for the start, and no one cared about this. I mean, it was not a problem. Like nobody cared about it.
No.
So it was fine. And then they were like, Soldier is gay. It was just like that for no reason.
Yeah, it was
that kind of thing. I think is bad. Is when you just add things like, oh yeah, now this character is trans. Oh yeah, now that kind of thing.
Yeah, just bad for no reason like that.
Yeah, I mean, because it said be applied to disability. I'm like, wait, if the disabled person is there, like, are they there because they want to be there? Are they there for the story? Do they blend in with the characters? Do they have meaning in the story? Yeah. Don't just plant them in there because, hey, we want to include you, Shadow. We want to make sure that you represent. Like, no, you want to represent me. Make a good character that I can relate to.
Is that like someone is going to? Is that like someone is going to be insulting a disabled person? We just want a disabled person, just for no reason.
Yeah.
I feel like some way it's like insulting people.
It is kind of.
I feel like they think that if, for example, if trans people do not have their transgender character in the game, they cannot represent themselves as the characters they play. So they add such characters for them. Same for example, for the black people.
Yeah.
Look
Etc.
at Zangief. Zangief, he's white and I love him.
Yeah, this means nothing. You can be transgender and like cisgender characters.
Yeah.
And the opposite also. You can like transgender characters even if you are cis.
Yeah.
Etc.
I love La Diva, for example.
Yeah, same. I think Latifah is great. I think the way the character is, how she is, I think it's natural and she fits with the game and she's really fun. I say it all the time when we're fighting in Grand Prix. I'm like, oh my god, I love Latifah's voice lines. Like her delivery is so cool.
I love
she
Latifah.
She's got so much sass to her character, and it's because the developers and the people making the game were like, this character can work, and this is why she's important in the game.
Yeah,
she's a very cool character. You know,
it's like Cagliostro. It's like Cagliostro. I like the character even before knowing everything about her lore.
Yeah.
But you knowing her lore or not, you can like the character, and that's why I like this character, because it's not it's a well done character before being a transgender or anything.
Yeah, that's how it is.
But you know,
and that's why I think Concord is bad, because they do this, but bad.
Yeah. And it's what do you do there, and how do you know, we can kick and scream all we want, but you know, Sony realistically are the only ones that can change anything. And it's not just Sony either. Game companies, I can't think of any offhand, but there's a lot of game companies out there now that are starting to do it too. However, that's Wheat Baby Ink company I mentioned, actually, Square Enix left them the other day and said that they're done. One of the developers, I think it was Nomura, he's the character design for like Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. He said, no, we want sexy characters in our games. We want attractive characters in our games. I was like, yeah, like we do. Nothing wrong with that, but you know. So
there's two type of people: the ones that want sexy characters, and the ones that want inclusivity.
Yeah, but then again, the people that are claiming, the people that are like, oh well, we want this in our game, and but they're not buying the game. But they're not buying it.
There's something that I noticed for example, that for everyone who want to say inclusive character is like they hate white men and they hate sexy characters. Is it if you want inclusivity mean you can include them. You can include sexy character and white men. There's nothing wrong. I said, no. It's like, I don't understand what they're thinking. Seriously.
No, I don't either. I don't get it. I don't understand the reasoning.
And this is me coming from a weird person who think Bigfoot exists. If someone like me don't say that they are weird, it means that something is wrong with them.
Yeah, and I think our podcast today kind of highlights that, you know, it's not just about, even though this is titled The Success and Failures, this is kind of about the future as well.
Yeah, a lot of the PS5.
Yeah, you know, PC gamers are I think in a really strong position, and I think at the moment they have a very strong case in terms of, hey, come over and join us, you know, we have all these games and we have everything here that you guys want, you know.
Because for me, for the last 5 years, I'm slowly transitioning to be more PC gamer. But why
it's the same for me.
Yeah, so for me, in terms of modern game, I can play on PC. When it comes to retro game, I play on console. I think that's how I might be in the future. Modern PC.
I'll just talk about my personal experience, because I was basically really console oriented. Like as a player,
So you were
for like years and years and years and years. I have at home. I have a Nintendo. I even have a Famicom, Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube. I have PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4. I have Xbox 360.
360, nice.
Game Boy Advance, Game Boy. I have a lot of console. Dreamcast, Sega Saturn,
Same thing for me.
etc. Mega Drive. I had a Game Gear, 3DS, DS, etc. And even with all my consoles, I mostly play on a PC. Like maybe 95% of the time I play on PC. I even have a Switch just next to my computer. I don't even play with it, despite having great games like Fire Emblem, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I have really good games on this console, but I don't even touch it because most of the time I'm on my computer and I can do things like talking with my friends on Discord while playing my games.
Yeah,
and
I often see
sharing
you
your games too.
That's right.
Watching my emails, watching something on YouTube. I don't know. You can just have multiple screens so that you can see multiple things at the same time. Not like in a console. You can't do this on a console.
That's right.
So yeah, I think overall, with the time, consoles are going to disappear. I think consoles are going to disappear. Not completely, but I think it's going to disappear sooner or later.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and I say that as a console lover and
same thing for me. That's what I think. But maybe not disappear, but maybe video games going to be more PC oriented. But I know that for the console, there needs to be an advantage that you just plug a thing to your screen. You just plug a device to your screen, and then you can plug multiple controllers, and then play with everyone. You cannot do that with a desktop, but with a gaming laptop, you can do the same thing as a console. You can go to people, you can plug your gaming laptop to a screen as a second screen, and then you can plug your gaming laptop with multiple controllers and a USB device. It become a couch experience, just like a console. So I think first, maybe a powerful gaming laptop might become more popular. That's what I think.
In my case, I think 90% of the player will be either or both on PC and mobile, because mobile is also something that works really well nowadays.
Yeah, because the mobile game is getting more and more high quality. For example, for games for the Apple Arcade, there's Puyo Puzzle Pop and Sonic Dream Team. Those are mobile games, but I play it on the arcade on my Apple TV on big screen, and I said, those are mobile games.
Yeah.
Genshin
those
Impact.
Are full games.
Games like Genshin Impact too.
Yeah. Honkai Star Rail.
Yeah, it's a mobile. It's actually a mobile game.
Yeah.
And I said to
Believe
myself,
it or not.
Wow. We reach a point where mobile game is getting more like a console quality. Little by little.
It's getting the potential to match that level of where it's getting to the point where it can kind of rival console gaming in a way.
Because I remember 10 years ago, mobile games, I saw that there was just a mini game to play for 5 minutes, and for me, it wasn't. As a console gamer, it was nothing impressive. It was an inferior. Yeah. But now some mobile games getting up there. I said, oh, so the market is changing.
It's changing big time, and I think Sony needs to kind of realize that, and they need to realize where they're going and where their community and where the customers are in terms of what they want. You know, like I said, it's a rough year for them. So 2025 is theirs to either win or lose. And
and about the PS5-pro, they should make more PS5-pro only exclusive. More game like Astrobot.
Yeah, more game. Yeah, like Astrobot. Like even I'm interested in the game, and I'm not interested in Astrobot, but the idea of the game is appealing to me.
Just more games.
Yeah. More games will take advantage of the hardware, actually.
Exactly. Astrobot take advantage of the hardware and the controller. And when I say that, I said this is a true PS5 experiment. When I play Astrobot, that's how it is. This is a true PS5. It's just sad that PS5 in its 4th year only have like 18 true exclusive games.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty bad.
I think I never saw something like that in any video game console.
No, same. So, for me, I've said everything I need to say. If you guys want to keep going with this, we can. But if we could finish up pretty soon, I think we've covered most of our topics.
Oh yeah,
there is
I have one more topic that I would like to say. I'm going to share my screen. For me, this is another failure of Sony. Are you guys are able to see my screen?
Oh yes, you had this in your notes.
Yes.
Yeah, the touch, yeah.
This is the PlayStation Portable. I'll be back. Give me a second.
Yeah, I'll let Canada go into detail with this thing. Oh Jesus Christ!
For me, this is one of the most useless things I ever saw in my life. Basically, the PlayStation Portable. It's a portable screen just like the Nintendo Switch, but you can only play PlayStation 5 game. The function is to play PlayStation 5 game remotely in your house only.
Oh yeah, like the Nintendo Wii U.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo Wii U, I said.
The Wii U did the same thing like 10 years before.
Yeah. And then the Wii U failed. Because it was too
and
limited.
the Wii U failed.
And I don't know what you're thinking, because do you know that the
bad.
PSP and the PS Vita, the PS Vita, with the PS Vita, we can remote control PS4 game and PS3 games and play them remotely with the PS Vita.
True, yeah.
And then, on plus that, the PS Vita have 100 quadrillion games. The PS Vita have a lot of game that you can
Vita's
put
great, honestly.
inside.
I'll also add something. On Steam, you have the Steam Deck to do pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
You can also do it on PC. It's like nothing new. But actually, it's good that they do this for people who want it. But it's not. People just wanted maybe a portable, a real portable console, and not just something to.
Like a Vita 2 or something.
Yes.
Yeah, like something that
Yeah,
is-
Vita 2.
Like a PSP 3. Because everything the PlayStation Portal can do, the PS Vita can do, and then the PS Vita you can put on stand-alone game. You can listen to music. You can go to the internet. You can put stand-alone game inside the PS Vita, and you can play it.
Yeah.
So for me,
Now-
PlayStation Portal, it is the most useless PlayStation product I ever saw in my life.
It is pretty bad. It is actually atrociously bad. It's a stupid idea. And you know, for the 30th anniversary consoles they announced as well recently,
yeah.
they also included that.
The
as,
50th
like, its own
anniversary
version.
console,
Yeah.
for the 50th anniversary console, I'm not going to buy it
No.
because
no.
if it was backward compatible with CD, PS1, PS2, PS3, and PS4,
Yeah.
and disc base, that would have been worth it for me to have all my PlayStation console in one place.
Yeah.
For convenience, that would have been perfect, because I still have my collection of PS1, PS2, and PS3 game on the CD.
Same. Yeah, I still have all my.
Because
my
for me,
games, my-
if it's
yeah.
the 30th anniversary of PlayStation, they should celebrate it properly. That's
Yeah.
my logic. Not just putting a digital console and not celebrating the past. So that's
Stupid, yeah. It's just kind of it's a piece of just plastic essentially. It's a piece of nothing. It's no good. Like it's
oh no. You are insulting a piece of plastic by doing that. Don't say that.
Because my friend has it in the UK. He actually bought one and he tested it. And I said to him, "Well, what's it like?" And he said to me, "He said, look, he said it works, but the connection," he said, "isn't great." I goes, "Well, that's the problem. You can't. Waste of time and money. Maybe put that money into exclusive games."
Yeah.
Just saying. You know, the thing that we
That's what they
actually
should
need.
do.
Yeah.
Or just stop making consoles and let the PC win.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Sony I think they're gone ahead of themselves. I think they're kind of a bit cocky at the moment, and I think they need to be kind of taken down a peg or so.
Oh yeah.
And they need to be told like to stop what they're doing.
I think the reason why they are cocky because they have no real competition. They're the Nintendo Switch, but Nintendo Switch is like a different market than PlayStation because the way it shows, everyone who have a PlayStation have a Nintendo Switch as a secondary console, so they're not really in a real competition. And then
the Xbox has the same problems as the PlayStation.
Yeah, it does actually.
Because Xbox is basically like Windows.
Yeah.
You can just play Xbox games on Windows, so
yeah.
Who cares?
Because me, I have a Xbox Series X. Yeah, but I have an Xbox Series X mainly to play this base Xbox original Xbox game, Xbox 360, and Xbox One game that I can put. I just need it. For me, Xbox Series X was just an upgrade for my Xbox 360. It's basically it. But aside from that, the president of Microsoft, they say something that they should never admit. He say they admit that they lost the console wars this time, and then by doing that, a lot of players are hesitant to buy the Xbox because the president admitted that they lost the console war. It's like when you are in a console war, you should never ever admit defeat. Never. You should always go.
No. You should always be confident in your brand, and I agree 100%.
He said he had no confidence in their brand, and then Sony, they became after that was I think 3 years ago, and Sony they skyrocketed in their arrogance. Now Sony think that they're untouchable. That's why all of everything is happening.
Yeah, it's
and then in all honesty, even if I don't buy a PS5-pro, I think the PS5-pro is going to sell out because
some people don't have a PS5 because it was hard to find for a lot of time.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's just influencers and people who have the money. You know, people just do have the money and they want to spend it, and they're big Sony guys and they want to support the product. But you know, I think it hurts people in the long run. But
it depends if they still have money after buying their waifus on gacha games.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And this also remind me of you know the Apple product in Apple phone. But Apple have so many fans that you know an Apple phone. My phone is a cheap phone. It cost me $50, and I use it every day. It works fine because I use it to phone, to text, to go on Discord. I have a cheap phone. I can use it. I will never buy an Apple phone. This is like an iPhone 18 that cost like $2,000. I said, you will never see me buying $2,000 for a phone. But I know, but I'm aware that there's millions of Apple fans that they're going to buy Apple products regardless of the price. And and then definitely for PlayStation, I know there's millions of PlayStation fans who are going to pay any PlayStation product regardless of the price. So PlayStation will never have a message to stop doing bad product.
Yeah, it's because they're loyalists. They'll buy it because it exists. And that's just a way of the world works, I suppose. You know, you have people out there that are just that loyal.
Because
that's how the hype works. Like people are hyped, and they are hyping other people, and so even if it's bad, they still buy it.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
like
I guess
Pokemon.
so.
It's like Pokemon. The
Yeah.
Pokemon games are bad, but they still buy it.
Yeah, because of the
Yeah.
marketing power of Pokemon. Oh, speaking of Pokemon, I know this is up topic, but the Pokemon company is do a lawsuit to the game of Power World.
Oh yeah, Power
Yeah.
World. Oh boy.
Yeah, but but is that a copyright? Is doing a patent because Nintendo had no case to pursue Power World in copyright infringement, so they do a patent infringement. The patent saying something that we are the only one in the world who can make game where we can capture monster by throwing a ball, something like
Oh
that.
yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
seriously, that's just pity. I said to Nintendo, with all the money you are spending to do this lawsuit, do a Pokemon game that is not buggy. That's all we are
Yeah.
asking. And then
Proper frame
will-
rate, stability. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
people
we-
bought Palworld because the last Pokemon game was that bad.
Yeah, it was buggy.
As a protest, they bought Palworld.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? And Power World has had some success, but there have been people saying about the copyright issue around that and kind of the
Yeah.
subtle kind
but
of
to be-
references.
Yeah, but to be honest, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is a good game in terms of gameplay mechanic, but there's just so many bugs that it ruined the experience, and then I cannot blame them.
No,
Over that,
same.
because Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, honestly, the concept of open world Pokemon and all that, it's a
Yeah.
good game, in honesty, but the game was rushed. I can see it.
Yeah, you can tell that it's not really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If-
it looks kind of yeah.
Yeah. If they at least polish the game, yeah.
I mean, that's maybe something down the line I think they could do, and probably is something they will do. But I think it's in a beta form at the moment. I don't think it's actually in a proper full release yet. I think that's what Power World is at the moment. So
Yeah, Power World, yeah.
that might answer that.
Yeah,
that
and
might
then,
answer
yeah,
the question,
but Power World is a beta form, and people buy it, and then the game
Yeah.
something like that. So if it's only a beta, it sold like what 20 million copies worldwide.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
like
it sold
that.
a lot. Yeah, for beta. So there's interest in the game. So yeah, there's a lot going on, I think, and a lot to kind of look out for. So it's interesting
yeah.
times.
And then, I think that's all that I wanted to say. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's another subject. It is related to Astrobot.
Okay.
The game, I know the gaming journalists who want diversity, they hate game like Wukong and Infinity Nikki.
Oh yeah,
Those
yeah,
games
yeah,
like
yeah,
that, because those games, they don't have any political messages, and then they have attractive characters. They also hate game like Stellar Blade. I just
yeah,
found
they
it.
didn't know
Yeah.
at all.
And then the way I see it, I know it's sad that now when I see a game that a game journalist hate, for me it's a green flag that say that's a good game.
Yeah.
You know how sad it is.
Yeah.
it's a
they're
good.
complaining.
It's a good game. Like a game like Black Kong Wukong, game journalists hate that game. I say to myself, it's probably a good game.
Yeah, it's really a good game.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's like
Yeah.
someone complains about it on Twitter. It's a good game.
Yeah,
If they say it's a good game, probably a bad game.
exactly. For example, game journalists said, Concord a good game. I said, it's probably a bad game. And then
Yeah. It's like
We
the
had
opposite
proof.
of everything they say. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then it ended up happening. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
so
No, it's good for the agenda they're pushing. It's not that it's an actual
Oh,
good
oh,
game.
oh yeah,
So-
you know what the game Lollipop Chainsaw.
Chainsaw.
Yeah, so I
Oh,
pre-ordered-
yeah.
I pre-ordered a physical copy of the game just for one reason, because game journalists say that's a bad game. Why? And then I saw the user score who played this game. It's a good game. I said, okay. I just bought this game just because game journalists said it's a bad game.
Yeah, it's like Hogwarts Legacy when people
Oh God, yeah.
try to make them not buying it. It actually had the opposite effect
yeah,
of
exactly.
people
Yeah, it made them want to buy it.
actually.
Yeah. It's the opposite effect.
So, yeah, I think how people conceive games and how people think about games has changed too. You know, and I think a big problem is people just don't want to form their own opinions anymore either. I think it's a case of people I think rely too much on other opinions. You know.
Yeah, they should stop watching Twitter every single day and just enjoy what they want to enjoy, and that's it.
Just get off Twitter and actually play the games that you want to play and enjoy them the way you want to enjoy them. You know.
Yeah.
I could just talk about my Evo experience because, like, I was not on Twitter for 9 days, and it was really refreshing to not have Twitter for 9 days.
Yeah.
I saw the difference between Twitter and the real world. You know, like people in the real world are actually good people. And
they're nice. Yeah.
If you're just watching what it is said on Twitter, you watch only the bad side of humanity.
Yeah. You don't get to see the actual people like in person and how they are and how helpful people can be and how honest and just good spirited they can be. Yeah. I think Evo really shows the spirit of the FGC in a positive way.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, you have all these people from all over these different countries and friends like us who come together from all different walks of life, kind of coming together for a common thing that we love. And I think that should be kind of shown more. You know, I think that should be showcased more. You know, I mean, we're going to France next year.
Yeah, we're going to Evo France.
Evo France, yeah.
I will go to France too. Oh, wait, I'm
already in France.
You're already there, man.
Yeah, I will go to Evo France. I just wonder what game they're going to be. I'm hoping Grand Blue Fantasy Versus will be there. Street Fighter 6,
I'm pretty sure Grand Blue will be.
Street Fighter 6, I'm pretty sure, and then the new SNK, the new SNK game is called the Mark of the Wolf. Me and my friend Henry, we played that game, and it's a game I'm going to buy day one.
Street 6, Tekken 8, Grand Blue, Guilty Gear. I think those 4 games are pretty much sure to be on it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, the Mark of the Wolves one is probably going to be in it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Under 19 Births will be still on it. I'm not sure.
Maybe as a side tournament.
Yeah, the side maybe.
Not 19 Births is not that popular compared to other game.
No, but it has a devoted fan base. I think it has a dedicated.
Most likely as a side tournament.
Side tournaments are quite nice.
We'll see.
I think I've covered everything I would like to talk about. Unless there is anything else, I think it might be a good point to finish up. I think we've had a really good discussion. Unless there is any final comments or anything or anything you guys want to promote or whatever.
Yeah.
Please feel free.
So for my final comment, PS4-pro failure, Concord failure, Astrobot success, PS4-pro failure, and PlayStation is not out of business. I'm surprised.
Yeah, but I think this will be my final comment. I think what you just did is a very good kind of summary of everything that we talked about, like failure, and then hey, Astrobot is a massive success. Actually, before I do finish up, I'm just gonna look at the reviews for this game just to tell you the general score. Astro.
I know the review was insanely high.
It was great. It was.
I played this game with no expectation, and wow, the music is great. The game have each level. Most levels are very unique with a unique gimmick. It's a huge level of creativity.
Yeah, it was like it looks cool. It looks fun.
Oh yeah,
94. It has a 94 overall rating.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, I will do that very quickly.
And then I would say, this game was made by Team Asobi. It was the same team that made Ape Escape and Gravity Rush. And you know what? Sony dead. Team Asobi is the leftover team of Japan studio. A few years ago, PlayStation fired like everyone, close off the Japan studio to make more game like Concord.
So,
Good for them.
PSX. Yeah, I mean, look at all these reviews. I mean,
Those are
9.
great.
Yeah, and it's the user score too.
Yeah, it's the user score.
Both.
Universal
scores.
Chain.
Both.
So
Let me check user ratings.
seriousness. So if Astrobot wins the platformer game of the year, it wouldn't surprise me. Or at the very least, it's going to be in the nominee. It must be. If it's not in the nominee, I'm going to get mad.
8, 10, 10, 8, 7. But like, yeah, it's in the high 10s and 9s.
Yeah.
So that should tell
2K.
Sony everything they need to know.
Almost 3K. Love this game.
Positive.
Only like for the full person who there's always people who hate the game. For the full person who hate the game, they probably only play first-person shooters, and they say, "Oh, this is not a first-person shooter. Bad game."
Yeah.
Those are probably the type of person who say it was negative. But
yeah, so that's my take, and I think the Astrobot. Just look at that. There's your answer. Lecorbak, have you?
My I'll just say as my final word, chili hot dogs.
Okay. I guess I'm good to do my outro, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to promote. Well, first off, I want to say thank you to both Lecorbak and Hardmancanada for joining me on the podcast for this podcast. It's been a while since we've done one, and please check out our last tournament, which is Grand Blue. It was our first ever run back tournament, which is really fun. I haven't decided yet. I don't know what we're doing for next month, or as in for October, but I'll kind of figure that out. So just to promote, you can find our past tournaments on www.youtube.com/Hardmancanada, and you can also check out Lecorbak's channel at, I always get this wrong. Is it
Lecorbak Official?
Lecorbak Official. At youtube.com as well. Please stay up to date on our Discord, Agita Spirits, and we'll probably do another podcast, I think, maybe this year. If not this year, maybe next year. I think there's definitely, maybe a Christmas one might be a good idea. Just something to throw out there. Or something, but you know.
If I have time, but it's...
because during the course of holiday, I go to family, I have family over, so...
Well, not Christmas Day, but like maybe around December time, maybe like early-ish December.
Okay, because during the like 3 week of 1 week before Christmas week, and 1 week after Christmas, forget it. I can almost guarantee that I won't be there.
Probably before, maybe like the first week of December.
Okay.
Then we could maybe do something like, what are our expectations going into 2025, or what are we most excited for? Or maybe we could do like a reflection year of like what we did as a group this year and what we kind of learned from our like tournaments and our Evo experiences. Maybe we could do something like that, just as an idea. But yeah, once again, thank you guys so much. You've been great. Looking forward to what we do in the future, and yeah. Thank you to everyone who watches this podcast. Please support our stuff. Please watch, please share, please comment. Our support means a lot to us, and we look forward to bringing you more. Have you guys any closing comments officially before we end the recording, or end the podcast discussion, I should say?
Yeah. So for me, because it's about Evo, because I had a great result in the Grand Blue Fantasy Versus at Evo. It motivated more. So what I normally do is from each Monday to Friday, before I go to work at 6 p.m., I wake up at 4. Before I go to work at 6 a.m., I wake up at 4 a.m. I work out while waiting for someone in rank match mode, and then I play. I do that for both Grand Blue and Street Fighter.
It's a good idea. Yeah, I think I'll do the same for Tekken as well.
That's how I do.
Yeah, in my case, I'm doing similar things. Like I'm actually trying to lose weight.
Oh, wow.
To be more healthy, and I really try to train with all the characters of the game just to better know the matchups, because my personal problem is to not know the matchup because I don't know the characters. So I'm actually playing with all the characters to try to arrange that, and thanks to that, in the past I was only playing Cagliostro. Now I have 3 characters like Cagliostro, Versusia, and a little of Charlotta too. And I will really try to get to master rank before reaching Evo France. I'm working on it, and yeah.
Oh yeah, that's saying that because I'm currently in the S plus S1 S plus rank, and then once I reach S plus, I need to play. Let's say when I fight against someone S rank or lower, I can just play by being very aggressive. But in S plus, I need to play and take my time, and then the only way to be S plus character is to make sure that I take my time and that no mistake. When I do no mistake, I can beat them, and then very often. And then very often I beat them by time over because I'm playing by making no mistake, and I wait for them to do a mistake for me to do a full combo. But what you S plus,
when you're fighting them, you have to actually play as if you were in the Evo Grand Finals.
Exactly.
So it's like that. You have to play like that if you want to win against them. I managed to beat some S plus and S plus player, but it's really hard.
Yeah, I'd say it's really tough.
Yeah, it is very tough. And then for you, Lecorbak, for a few compliment, when I fight against you versus my Ladiva, I want to fight as if I'm playing an S plus player. So I'm very careful. I do only safe move and all that. So yeah. So that's a compliment on how good your versus.
The same for me, actually. Every time I fight you, I play as if I was in grand finals.
Okay. So we're getting a bit off topic, but that's okay. That's all I want to.
That's all right. All right. Thank you guys, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
I'll stop recording now.
Hardmancanada.